And now, 3 rounds of Fade the Noise, bold takes, sharp bets, and guaranteed heat. Introducing first, the hosts, Joe and Eric.
Hello and welcome back. This is episode 19 of Fade the Noise. Hope you guys didn't miss me too much last week. I was off celebrating my girlfriend's 30th. We were in the mountains, surprisingly warm. I don't know if global warming's real, but you know what? I hope it goes away soon because I prefer cold weather. And that's what we're getting into. It's football season. We've had 3 crazy weeks of that so far. Before we get started, Joe, Angel, how are y'all's weeks going? You guys had a good week. How did last week's picks do? I wasn't on the show.
We're doing good. Last week was good, we missed you, but not too much, like you said, but yeah, it was good. Had a good weekend. Sucked that there was really no combat sports on or anything, but we're back at it this weekend with the UFC. So let's go.
Yeah, it was definitely quite the week. Our football parlay did not hit thanks to that Browns defense, which I'm kind of glad they beat the Packers because I'm still salty. But yeah, we look to rebound. We're gonna rebound this week and give out some winners.
I have many thoughts to say on that. We'll save it for when we get to that matchup. And Joe, you said no combat sports. I know I missed Friday's show, but Dana White's Contender Series is on quite the hot streak, right? In VIP.
Yeah, that is correct. We don't really go over too much Dana White Contender Series on this show, but we do in our Discord community, and it was hot. It's been on a hot streak. I think the last 4 events in a row have been winners. And this last Tuesday, that has been, keeping us combat sport junkies or us MMA junkies intact lately because we've had a few breaks on the weekends these past couple months, and Contender Series has really shaped up to be a diamond in the rough. The best fighters trying to compete to get into the UFC fight right in front of Dana, so they give it their all. And it's been surprisingly easy to pick this season, for us at least. We've been on the right side of a lot of these. And last Tuesday, for last week's episode, we were actually 4-1, and we hit our max play of 4 units on that one. So we risked 3 units and we won back 5. So a lot of plus money and a lot of underdog action on that. So it's been great.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Glad you guys got by without me, kind of. Let's get into the show. Personally, the NFL feels out of control this season. And so I've basically limited myself to like teaser same game parlays. Like I couldn't get over who's losing to who, the totals that are being put up, people getting injured. I know it's all part of tracking the season, but good Lord, this season has been wild to me. I don't know if it's just me, honestly.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Especially last week. Literally everything that people thought was going to happen didn't. A lot of people got ripped a new one betting NFL last week. So
especially on that Panthers-Falcons game. No one saw that coming.
Don't get me started, man.
All this domination and then just to lose by a lot of points, not a good game. But there's always one upset in the NFL, I think, a week.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. And if you're someone who pays a lot of attention to news and lines and everything, you can generally find an edge. Okay. With all the injuries, we have receivers and running backs that are out, sometimes quarterbacks, and the lines are much more of a guesstimate than they would normally be because there's no data to go off of, or at least no recent data. So focus on those. I mean, generally speaking, if you're a fan of the NFL and you see someone take Carson Wentz, I would have guaranteed that he would have thrown 2 picks. But if you're a believer in Minnesot's weapons, it's not a bad thing to take a shot on. So, yeah.
Well said. And I had a Penix after that performance.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He was on my bench. Just get off my bench, man. After that, I don't want you anywhere near my team.
Yeah. I had to drop Najee as well. Honestly, I thought it was just the eye thing, so now I've got my tinfoil cap on, and I'm wondering, when he came back, was it just, he was actually hurt worse than they said? Or did he actually get healthy, come back, and get hurt immediately? I don't know.
You're talking about for 4th of July?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. His firework accident might have ruined his career.
We'll find out. Cool. So, yeah, super fast recap, the Packers are annoying, the Broncos suck, and Derrick Henry needs to stop fumbling.
Love it.
True.
We should do fast recaps like that all the time.
That's what I got out of last weekend's game. So let's dive on in. We're going to start off with UFC Fight Night on ESPN. Tomorrow night, we've got Olberg versus Reyes. I already forgot the nicknames that told me. So, Joe, please kick us off. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so this weekend we're back with UFC. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Going to be a great main event here with Carlos Olberg versus Dominic Reyes. Carlos Olberg goes by the name Black Jag. I think that might be short for Black Jaguar or something like that. I'm not sure at all, so don't quote me on that. But he is from Australia, and he is a beast. 12-1, and it looks like he's actually on a pretty good win streak, even here on the UFC. He's on let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9-fight win streak he's on. No, 8. Counted too fast. 8-fight win streak, and that's all in the UFC. That's beast mode. Dominic Reyes, on the other hand, is on a 3-fight win streak. He did lose his 4 previous to that. He was getting knocked out left and right, but yeah, it was terrible for his brain. But he took a couple years off after that 4th knockout, and he really got his chin back, basically, and his confidence. He worked on his skills. He kept getting better, and he made his debut 2 years later after that hiatus, fighting Dustin Jacoby, where he knocked him out in the first round. Then he fights Anthony Smith, knocks him out in the second round, and then he fights Nikita Krylov, knocks him out in the first round. So he definitely has his confidence back now, but I think this is where the hot streak ends. If you notice, the last 3 guys I mentioned, they're not on the level of the last 3 opponents that Carlos Olberg has faced. When picking these fights, when making your decision, you're going to always want to look at the level of competition that both guys have fought, and that should weigh very heavily on your opinion on who's going to win this fight. I usually check the last 4 fights for each of these fighters, but let's go with the last 3. So I already named off Dominic Reyes. The last 3 for Carlos Olberg that he's beat was Jan Blachowicz, which is still one of the best fighters in the division, Volkan Ozdemir, another top fighter, better than any of those 3 that Dominic Reyes has beat. And then Alonzo Menifield, he's about on the level of what Dominic Reyes has beat. And when he fought someone on the level of who Dominic Reyes has beat in the last year or so, he knocked him out in the first round. He knocked out Alonzo Menifield in the first round, so that's what he does to lesser competition. This, with a lot of other factors, it indicates to me that Olberg is going to win this one, and I do have a best bet for this that we could lock it in at the end of this show, so stay tuned for that.
Damn. Okay, thank you very much. I started looking up records and was just kind of like, this is hard to process. The 4 losses he had before the 3 wins on Reyes' side, and it looks like that time off was a good idea. I haven't looked at Olberg.
Really was.
Angel, you got anything to add?
Yeah, this is going to be quite the light heavyweight matchup. From what I see and hear, Olberg is a terrifying striker. He's 8-1 in the UFC since 2021. They both stand tall at 6'4", and they both have a 77-inch reach. So there's no advantage here, height or weight-wise. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Like Joe said, Reyes is on a 3-fight win streak, all knockouts coming within the first 2 rounds. Yeah, Olberg, I think he just has a more of a fresher chin. This is going to be a striking matchup, no doubt. I don't see many takedowns happening. I don't see this going past 2.5 rounds, but I think Olberg is going to win his 9th straight fight, and I think he's going to probably finish Reyes.
Damn.
But if Reyes does win, this is going to be quite the win, because his last 3 opponents, like you said, aren't as strong as Olberg, that's for sure. And he's 35 years old, so is this his prime or is this the end of it? We'll find out.
You calling me old? 35 ain't old, bro.
Nah,
you're right. 35 years old and fighting is old. I'm not trying to fight anybody right now, so I
Especially
100% agree with you. Yeah, I get out of bed and things that hurt, that shouldn't hurt, they hurt. But yeah, I agree. I feel like this definitely can be a finish. Reyes either wins in dominating fashion, like his nickname, or loses in devastating fashion. So he might change his nickname from the Dominator to the Devastation or the Devastator. after this fight, after he gets KO'd. But yeah, loving the Olberg side here.
Devastator is a terrible name. I'm not an
Yeah,
authority.
it's if you get
Black now, and he's got the Black Panther like toothy necklace. I'm an Olberg fan immediately. Just for the record, on the internet, 35 is old until 2026, and it'll get pushed back a year for no particular reason. So I think we can safely move on and ignore any age discussions. We've
yeah,
got we've got quite
let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. We've got quite the NFL slate coming up. So we picked 3 of the games. There are a couple more matchups this weekend that I think are great betting opportunities. But if you want anything outside of what we cover in the show, you're going to have to join the Discord, and preferably VIP, where you'll get the full list of picks rather than just the free members who are going to get the free picks. So what are you on for a record as far as PODs go for NFL?
Yeah, so for the play of the days for NFL, which are VIP exclusive, we're on a 9-1 streak right now. You know, it started off, I think the first one might have been Dak Prescott under on his rushing yards. We've been eating like that all season. Bet the under on Dak Prescott rush attempts and yards. But those aren't all our play of the days. That was just one of them. That's where we started the season. Yesterday, we hit our 9th one. We went 8 in a row before losing one, and we rebounded yesterday with our 9th win. So that was the Seahawks money line first half, which we easily cashed, and we weren't sweating, unlike the Seahawk money line full game betters. So we just had the first half money line for Seahawks, 3 units, and we won that with these.
Hell yeah. Quarters and halves are underrated. Really well done. If I had just only done your picks, then I would be in a much better spot. But I did have a very positive night, so I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Sorry for the interruption, everybody. We're going back to the NFL slate. First off, we're going to talk about Vikings at Steelers. This is going to be Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers. So that's something I never thought I'd say. It's a weird matchup at a weird time with weird quarterbacks. I don't know how to feel about it. Vikings are favored at -142, and I'm not entirely sure what to expect other than I initially thought low scoring game. The line is set at 40, and it's so hard. I haven't looked at the data yet about how the international weird time zone games affect teams that might normally produce at a different level. So I can't speak to that, but 40 is a pretty low total, and I think they could even stay under it depending on the kind of game we see. So, you know what, Joe, why don't you kick us off on this one, and Angel, I'll start with you next time.
Awesome. So, yeah, we got our first of 3 games here. The morning game, Vikings at Steelers, even though they're playing in Dublin, Ireland. We got Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers. People were saying Carson Wentz might be a future Aaron Rodgers at one point. We're so far and past that point now. It's just crazy, but he looked like he looked good. He started off strong and had 129.8 passer rating, 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He's proving he can still run Kevin O'Connell's offense efficiently. And yeah, Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old. He's been all right, but he's actually stats are not bad at all. 7.5 YPA, quick release rhythm. Yeah, he under pressure, he's shown a lot of rust. A little rusty, so that's going to be expected with Aaron Rodgers right now. He's still trying to get into the groove, and after that terrible injury, he still hasn't gotten there yet. So we'll see how that develops as the season goes on. We'll see how each team traveled. Steelers actually arrived later in the week than the Vikings did, so we'll see if fatigue's a factor. You know, it's Jefferson and Addison versus the cornerbacks of the Steelers. That should be a pretty good matchup there. Yeah. So they have I think this will be a low scoring game, but I don't want to, I kind of want to avoid like a late game surge. So I feel like, especially with both teams traveling, that really will be a factor into how these teams start off. I'm thinking the first half under on this match. I think it's good. That's probably the smartest angle to go at it with, especially if the total holds around that 42-point mark.
Yeah, totally fair. I get it. For the record, Aaron Rodgers ain't coming back from that injury ever. he is on the decline. We were just crying about being in our 30s. I would be shocked if he played another year, honestly. And not just if he played, but if a team was willing to put up with his crap for another year. Just the will he, won't he? It's okay. You don't have to make training camp. You don't need to be at ATA. Nothing mandatory. We'll take you. Steelers are a disaster. But I agree.
Yeah.
His
He
numbers.
always blames his teammates too. He already was blaming them last week. He's always a great kid. He's a great kid. Yeah, that's why we lost the game pretty much.
Yeah, if everyone just did everything I said exactly the way I expect it, then we would solve all problems in the world. So yeah, I get it. We'll see. I like your analysis on that, especially with the first half under. There's usually some rocky starts as far as overseas or slash super early games go. So yeah, can't wait to see how that is. Angel, what do you got for us?
Oh yeah. So the last time the Vikings and Steelers played overseas was in London in 2013. So this will be a pretty good matchup of the 2-1 teams going at it. Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers. Vikings just kind of put a spanking on the Bengals. They got a backup quarterback now, Joe Burrow. Their defense went crazy. They have 5 takeaways, 4 sacks, kept other opponents under 11 points in back-to-back games. So the defense is starting to click from what I see. This is going to be a much tougher matchup for Carson Wentz and the Vikings offense. The Steelers defense is not bad. Not bad at all. They just had a 5-sack game. TJ Watt had 2 of those sacks. He is quite one of the defenders to look out for in this league. He's on that Micah Parsons level, maybe above him, maybe below it. They could be the same, in my opinion. I don't know who I'd rather have, but I think I like TJ Watt more now. But yeah, this is going to be a battle. The under, I'm kind of leaning towards 2. I don't see the Vikings scoring a lot of points on this defense. Jordan Mason is a running back 1 now, had 16 carries, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns last week. He's a very good pickup for them. They definitely needed it with Aaron Jones on the IR, so I look for him to get a lot of carries and score some touchdowns. You've got the return of Jordan Addison at a very good time because Carson Wentz needs all the weapons he can have. So you can't double cover Justin Jefferson and leave, 1 defender on Addison. They're going to do the same thing. Steelers' rush game is quite bad. They had 26 attempts for 64 rush yards last game, and that's not good. You can't put all the pressure on, your pretty old quarterback, but it is Aaron Rodgers. He looked pretty good in that first game, but you never know. This is going to be, like I said, probably leaning towards the under. And I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the Vikings. I don't know. They are 4-0 in international games, and I think they could go.
That's fair.
Thanks.
I get one. Yeah, I don't really know. The Vikings are such a weird team. I hate relying on teams that have a good system and a good coach, like winners, but not having a consistent starter kind of throws things out of whack. We're gonna have to wait and see. We've still only had 3 weeks of football. There is left to be revealed. I even delayed a trade in fantasy. See how they do against this opponent. It's one of those things.
Sure. Make sure you wake up early because we got an early kickoff. Otherwise, you might wake up and it'll be halftime or over.
Absolutely. And also wake up early, and if your friends
set those lineups,
for trade help, then your friends reply to you. I'm just Angel didn't reply last night, and it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It's all good. I made a decision. I'm a grown man. Next up, we got Ravens at Chiefs, Lamar versus Mahomes. So, unsurprisingly, the Ravens are favored. They've had actually, them and the Chiefs have had sort of a weird season. I believe Mahomes is getting Worthy back this weekend, which should make a big difference as far as targets, weapons, ball distribution, and overall game plan goes. And I don't think I need to remind everybody, the Ravens defense has been overall terrible, which is kind of weird to see. Even if they didn't always have the best overall defense, they were typically great in either, rush defense or pass defense. And this year, they just seem really mediocre to bad at all of it. Now, I'm not saying I can catch a pass against them, but they don't make millions of dollars. So it is what it is. The game has a pretty high total at 48.5 when I checked earlier. And somehow still, I think the over could hit. That's not in a pick. That's just me rambling. So we'll hear from the experts now. Angel, you want to go ahead and do this one.
Yeah, with the Baltimore Ravens at the Kansas City Chiefs. We got a battle of the 1 and 2 teams, surprisingly. Usually they don't start like this, you know. But one of these teams are going to be 1 and 3 before the end of September. And you know, I don't see the Ravens dropping to 1 and 3. I mean, Lamar just did win MVP coming off a pretty good season. This is going to be a high scoring game, I think. That over is set at 48.5 from last I seen. Yeah, Lamar Jackson had 288 yards, 3 touchdowns in his last game, but he was sacked 7 times from the Detroit Lions. They definitely put the pressure on him. He only had 35 rush yards recently, so they definitely, you know, kept that QB spy on him at all times. But they did lose that game, and I feel like the Ravens could be 3-0 if not for some costly fumbles by Derrick Henry in the very crucial minutes of some of these games. But this, you know, the ball just didn't fall back to them. It fell to the other team, and that is one of the main reasons why they're 1-2. But I feel like if he doesn't fumble this game, or maybe other people fumble, but I think whoever has more turnovers is going to lose the game. That's usually how it goes because you don't want to give more possessions to the other team. So yeah, I mean the Ravens are dangerous despite the record. Patrick Mahomes is coming off a game where he had 224 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had 15 carries for 118 yards. This dude is the running back and the quarterback of the team. Once again, they don't have a running offense. Their their running backs combined for 10 carries, 79 yards. It's not good when your quarterback's outrunning 2 of you. But yeah, if Worthy does come back, it'll be very crucial that he gets that connection back with Mahomes because he needs it. Yeah, Chiefs, they like playmakers. The Ravens have a couple more. Like you said, the Ravens defense isn't good. The Chiefs defense isn't good. But one of them, I think, will be better than the other, and I think that's going to be the Ravens.
Well, by the transitive property, you're implying that the Cowboys defense is terrible.
Very, very,
Okay. All right. I just wanted to hear you say it.
very bad.
I hear you. Joe, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, so for Ravens at Chiefs, I think it is going to be unanimous with all of us. I think we're all going for that over. I do like that over 48.5. Maybe buy it down 48 just to avoid that hook, but I am liking that over. Just like Angel said, I don't see the Ravens going into October being 1 and 3, but we'll have to see. Lamar Jackson is thriving under Todd McConkin with a 67% completion rate. He's a top 5 QB efficiency stats right now. Obvious best dual threat in the league with 3,500 pass yards and 900 rush yards last year. Patrick Mahomes, you know, doing Mahomes things with his 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and almost 5,000 pass yards last year. So he is going to continue to spread targets evenly. And I do think that Xavier Worthy is going to come back this week. He's practiced the last 3 days. It's trending up, and he's looking good. I'm following that closely personally for fantasy reasons, but I think he's gonna come back and hit his stride. Not saying he's gonna break his records in receptions, but I think he's gonna have a healthy amount of receptions, and I think he will, with the speed, he might break out for a lot of yards. Surprisingly, this week, should he start? It's like a AFC heavyweight bout here, as always. We got Mahomes, we got Lamar Jackson. It's kind of a playoff preview, even though, you know, the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs of old. It's still got to consider it a playoff preview because these teams might meet at some point. I don't know how many times we count out Mahomes and his team in the beginning of the year, only for the end of the year, them to be in the Super Bowl or damn near. It's going to be like a pass protection chess match. Both teams are pretty stacked on that end. Ravens are scoring at a alarming rate, 71% of red zone trips they score. So there is some red zone efficiency there. Kansas City, only 54%. That's a big gap. And that leaves Kansas City at the bottom half in red zone efficiency. So right there, we got a huge disparity, and that's looking like the Ravens could definitely capitalize in the red zone in this game. If Mahomes starts fast and he's getting worthy the ball, and you know his receivers are looking good, then it will be a shootout. But if Baltimore controls with Henry and slows down the tempo, that could put that over at risk. So keep an eye for that during the game. But yeah, if I had to pick something, I'll lean the over on this match.
Okay, cool. And yeah, Worthy, his receiving yards on DraftKings right now, for me anyway, is at 47.5. I can see him easily
yeah.
surpassing that
First half over.
secondary. I'm
For
not
real.
gonna go that
Shoot.
far, but
Just
I
watch out for
do.
Kelsey, Dude will
Yeah,
run you over still.
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. You're right. He's kind
You better be playing
You know what I'm
some
saying?
Shake It Off before
Head on a
that. Before
swivel, head
that,
on a swivel.
yeah.
he's the new Jerome Bettis.
Jeez.
You better be in that locker room playing "Shake It Off" by Taylor Swift or whatever that song's
Be on
called,
his
because
good side.
he needs to
That's
shake that
funny.
off. What happened last time?
That's real. That was awesome. I don't know her songs, but that would have been great.
I mean, that's a lyric. I don't know if that's the title. I'm not a Swiftie, but
I'm pretty sure it's
is
the
that
title. One of her
okay?
major hits.
You have a daughter, so you'd know.
Yeah,
I'm not on that level yet.
I only got 3 of them.
You'll find out. Cool. Thank you both. So last up, we've got Packers at Cowboys, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and a lot of heartache. So the Packers are minus 360. And honestly, I will same game parlay Packers minus 2.5 with a Josh Jacobs touchdown. It came out to minus 115, and I'll do it all day. So I don't know what their game plan is, but based on the last 2 weeks, it doesn't really matter. Okay. I don't know what Micah's motivation is going to be. There's been this huge narrative in the media like it's Micah versus Dak. It's not. They're both significant millionaires and they're friends. Like they don't care. I don't know how this stuff gets started. I did get upset earlier. I sent it to our podcast group, but Jerry Jones was talking about facing Micah and says, while he does make great plays, there's also a way to approach playing against Micah. As we know, we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl those years. You're right, Jerry. It's Micah's fault that the Cowboys didn't win a Super Bowl for the last 3-4 years. Hate you. And we're going to blow past that. Cowboys have a really weak secondary in both fantasy and betting. I'm looking at whoever passing against them. I haven't checked yet to see if Christian Watson's coming back this weekend, but I think this is the first weekend he's eligible to. And so I would extraordinarily consider this some kind of a lock, but the Packers did just lose to the Browns, which screwed me. So, and granted, I'm not comparing Cowboys defense to theirs. It's more offensive firepower, and clearly there are some weak points to exploit. I don't know. Just my 2 cents. I'm doing that same game parlay. I'm convinced Jacobs is going to have a day and the Packers are going to win. So hopefully we get a really good draft pick. Joe, what do you have for actual game analysis and not ranting?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to disagree with your take saying it's not Dak versus Micah. I mean, maybe not disagree, just clarify. I think really it isn't Dak versus Micah in terms of personal vendetta. And they might even have dinner before or after in Texas. Micah's gonna be happy to head out there, but it is 100% Micah versus Dak, game wise, because he literally has to sack Dak. He's going to have to get to Dak, and Dak's going to be having nightmares about Micah because he knows what Micah could do. He's seen it every single day in practice, and now that's coming for him. And Micah's going to want to prove a point. He knows. They know. If you know, you know. They both know that this is a game that Micah's going to have to prove something, and Dak's the sacrificial lamb. So the more sacks that Micah gets on Dak, the more of a point he proves. And unfortunately, Dak has to pay the problem. He has to pay the price. So yeah. So that before I go into analysis, that's my little spiel. I am more on the Dak versus Micah side, but it's kind of like that friend that instigated the other fight with the 2 friends, and now they're fighting. He didn't know what he unleashed. Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. And Micah could fight better than Dak. Let's just put it that way in these terms. So, Packers have actually beat Dallas 8 out of the last 10 times in their meetings. It doesn't matter the stadium, just the Packers have had the Cowboys number, as us 3 know as Cowboy fans. For this, I honestly think the Cowboys are just, my brain just tells me the Cowboys are going to get annihilated. I don't think it's going to be that close. I think they lose by 2 possessions or more. And I would definitely take an alternate line going the other way to get yourself plus money, minus 9.5 for the Packers. That's my side. I'm not saying go all in on it, but there's an explosive edge with the Packers offense, plus Dallas's turnover concerns and their horrendous defense. It's just a match made in heaven to bet Packers minus 9.5 on the alternate line. That'll probably be plus 160 or around there. And I'm thinking Dallas team total under as well.
Totally fair. I'm showing 91% of the DraftKings bets are on Green Bay. Minus
Yeah,
odds right now it's plus 123. So I'm wondering if it's going to get worse. We'll see.
I would also look in the first half. Like Dallas tends to start slow, just in general over the last couple of years. If they didn't start fast, they're behind all game, which they're going to be trailing all game. Green Bay, I can't see them leading or getting into a fair shootout. At first week with the Eagles holding them under 20 yards, that was an outlier. That is not the Cowboys.
Right.
That was the first week. So I would definitely bet a first half alternate spread, maybe first half minus 6.5. Get yourself nice plus money.
That's smart. You're right. They have started slow. Minus 2.5. Packers are first half are minus 166, which it's juicy, but there are some same game parlay opportunities there. And if we're going minus 6.5, Joe spoke the gospel, plus 118. You're getting plus money there, and he is absolutely correct about that.
So right there, throw it away, and we're gonna go Green Bay this week.
Whoa.
Hey, over emotions any time of the week.
Yeah.
That's where we at this week.
But you threw that.
For a hat.
I did. I'm upset right now with my gear.
When you were talking about Micah versus I first thought, I don't know if it was longest yard or water boy, but the one wherever he like goes in, bodies someone, and then for the sack, like picks them up and just gently sets them down. It could have been the replacements, actually. I don't know. I'm bad at movies, but I would laugh.
I think it was. Yeah. That would be funny. Like he just like cracks them, but sets them down like a baby every time. Like the initial impact just caving his chest in, but setting him down like he's a little baby.
Whispering in his ear, "I'll buy your dinner later. I got a lot of money." Just kidding. That's weird. Angel, you want to cap us off on this game?
Yes. So Cowboys are down 2 starting linemen and their top wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. On my fantasy team, I'll miss you. But yeah, I hope he comes back soon because the Cowboys don't have that many weapons. Our wide receiver one now is George Pickens. Jalen Tolbert will be receiving more catches. Kevontae Turpin will be definitely touching the ball a lot more. But yeah, this is a game script set up for the Packers pretty good here. The Packers have won 5 straight games, 10 of the last 11, and they've scored 34 or more points in 5 straight games in Dallas at our stadium, including in the playoff game. So I'm not sure if they make them nervous, if they just know what their plays are running. I don't know what's going on. You'd think they'd figure something out by now. But yeah, this game comes a month to the day after trading away Micah Parsons. So I think we're in for quite the anniversary. Micah Parsons is getting a sack. You can take that bet for sure. I don't know how many, but he's getting one at least. He's just too much. And we have 2024 first round pick Tyler Guyton going up against him, and he's gonna have his hands full. You know what I mean? So yeah, look for Parsons to have that better of that matchup. So both teams lost last week. The Packers faced a much tougher Browns defense, and they made some critical mistakes in the last few minutes to where they could have won, but they just didn't do what they needed to do. So I'm glad they lost. I think they're going to win this game, unfortunately, unless Dak Prescott goes crazy somehow and throws the ball within like 1 second of each time getting the snap so that Micah doesn't touch him. But, I mean, with the bright side of the Dallas is that they do have a run game. I mean, I guess they did before their 2 starting guards went down. But Javonte Williams has been pretty dependent. In his last game, had 7.6 yards a carry. The game before that, 5.7. He's pretty reliable with that. I mean, I like their run game better than their passing game, which is sad to say. But yeah, I think Jordan Love is gonna pick apart Cowboys defense just like Caleb Williams did. Their defense is nowhere to be found. Javon Diggs doesn't know what he's doing out there by the looks of it. I don't know. He's lost a step. I don't see any linebackers out there, but they're out there. Yeah, I think Cowboys might be losing by double digits, but yeah, I'm gonna take that. I like that Packers -9, whatever you said. Definitely tailing that.
Yeah.
Go
Let's get it.
Cowboys.
I agree. I agree.
Look for Jake Ferguson to have a good day though. Dude had 13 targets, 14 catches last game. He's probably our number 1, number 2 option right now. So that's one of our best bets. Also, I think Brendan Aubrey's gonna have a good day. I'd take his kicking points. We're probably going to be limited to a few field goals. So those are probably the bets that I would take for the Cowboys.
Man, we have some crazy good angles for this game. I feel like we're going to make some money this game. Just stick to the plan, gents. Just stick to the plan.
I completely agree with both of those. So DraftKings doesn't have it up yet. On FanDuel, Micah to get a sack is minus 144.
Jeez, they know something.
I would take that money
I'm
any
taking
day.
2 sacks.
Damn.
1 sack per half, at least.
And then Brandon Aubrey is also a really good point.
He's our best player.
Can we just, Micah, I think the ultimate move for that game is actually can you bet team sacks for Green Bay? So if you get the team sacks, as Micah makes people better. We have people on our team still that were getting sacks last season that aren't anywhere near the field or near the quarterback this year because Micah was making them better. Team sacks for Green Bay might be a thing.
If your book has it, then yeah. And yeah, I've seen it before as well. Or sometimes it's under like the passing tab, like how many sacks is a quarterback going to take. So just look around. Most books
they're gonna hide that for this game.
Sometimes they do that, and
I know.
For Brandon Aubrey, it's a great point because one of the things I look for both when choosing a fantasy kicker and when betting on kickers is to say, okay, we have a team that has a mid-range / respectable offense, but they can't punch in it, whether it's due to injuries or just lack of talent, or for some reason they suck. Maybe it's a bad coach. I don't know. But kickers, like, just if you think they can get across that 50-yard field goal marker, but they can't get all the way, whether it's good defense, whatever, that's a kicker worth betting on. And Aubrey's been just cream of the crop, you know?
Yeah, I look for him to make 1 or 2 60-yard probably field goals this game due to us not reaching.
60.
I mean, he's pretty clutch. He has that leg, you know what I mean? So I think,
but that's
he has the NFL record. He put some respect on his name, bro. It's light work for him.
He can do it. It's just
I don't doubt him.
Areas that could happen twice in a game, but maybe we'll just switch to a full kicker team and Aubrey we'll just kick field goals from 85 yards out and go to the Super Bowl.
No way.
I will tell. Sweet. All right. That covers the NFL slate. We're going to head into the Lock It In segment. I'm going to go last today. So we're going to start off with Angel. What are your Lock It In picks for this weekend?
Oh, yeah. So we got 3 bets for you. One of those bets is going to be Lamar Jackson, over 39.5 rushing yards. He was limited to 35 last game. I don't think he likes being bottled up. Chiefs defense is not going to bottle him up. He's going to have maybe 40 yards by halftime. I'm not sure, but will get that, I think, in the game. So that's my first best bet. My second best bet is running back by the name of Omarion Hampton. His backup, Najee Harris, kind of went down, so I think more work is going to be put onto him. And they are facing the Giants, and they don't have the best defense. Omarion Hampton is a rookie, and I think that he will get more touches this game, and he will get over 62 yards. And my last bet is going to be back to the UFC, Olberg versus Reyes. I think Olberg is going to finish Reyes, and it's going to be by knockout. That's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, sir. We'll see how that goes. I'll have some more on Mario Hampton in a moment. Joe, what do you got for Lock It In?
Yes, for Lock It In this week, I have 3 best bets and actually 1 VIP bet that I'm giving out for free on the show for the first time ever.
Damn.
So the 3 best bets, you're a little you are. 3 best bets are all NFL. The first one, I'll just say, me and Angel have the first best bet. I don't think we've ever lost when we both have the same best bet. Lamar Jackson over on his rushing yards.
Easy.
He has double that when it comes. He has over 60 rushing yards in his career against Kansas City on average. So he doubles that when he's playing Kansas City. They're not going to be able to contain him. Also, the Spagnuolo blitz rate is top 5 for KC. Lamar converts. He's one of the best at converting pressure into chunk gains when that happens, and that is the reason why he has so many yards against Kansas City. So lock that in. Best bet number 2, We will go with Vikings. Let's go back to that Vikings Steelers game, that first half under 20.5 alt line. I love that one. First half under on the Vikings and Steelers. They're not going to be able to start off very fast, and Vikings have scored on just 33% of their first half drives this year. Terrible team at starting off, and Rodgers' offense ranks 28th in the first half and earn yards per play. So
Love that.
Rodgers isn't really doing anything the first half. The Vikings aren't really doing anything the first half. Lock that in. For the third best bet, let's go with that Cowboys. We'll just go with the normal line that's set right now. Green Bay Packers -3.5 first half spread. Cowboys start off slow. Green Bay doesn't. It's going to be an annihilation. So those three bets. I won't be surprised if we go 3-0, and next week we're recapping that. And for the VIP pick that I'm giving out for free, it is UFC related. It is for the Reyes Olberg fight, and it is a same game parlay. This is for 2 units because this is what's going to be on our VIP card. We bet every single fight. So if you love UFC fights, come check us out in the Discord. And let's go with Olberg money line parlayed with over half a round. So Dominic Reyes just needs to last 2.5 minutes with Olberg, which I think he definitely can.
I like it.
And the rate on anybody finishing anyone in under 2.5 minutes is very low, even if you have power and a skill gap. So these are still 2 trained fighters, and if you parlay those 2 together, you get like -155. Put 2 units on it and enjoy the night.
That's rad.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited. Last week was an anomaly. Last night started the rebuilding process. I came up positive in both books.
Man,
and
lucky.
I'm happy because that always happens. I'm just kidding. I'm not happy. I expected it. Always don't make bad decisions. So if you listen to what I don't know what Joe said to you guys for my picks last weekend, hopefully, or for last week's show, hopefully he didn't share all of it because I did not have a good weekend. I take partial responsibility for that and put the rest on all the teams and people who are not doing their jobs. But I'm back this week and I've got 3 different things for you. So we got for a anytime touchdown scorer round robin, look to these players: Jordan Mason, Mario Hampton, James Cook, Saquon, Eric Henry, and Josh Jacobs. Okay. Throw CMC in if you want. He hasn't scored. He's been a huge disappointment. Well, the 49ers have. So you might get lucky. He will score at some point, I'm sure.
As long as he's healthy, they won't complain.
A smaller, riskier touchdown scorer round robin. These are people that I think are going to score, that have good matchups, but the odds aren't as favorable, and they're not as automatic as some others. So that would be Hunter Henry, Jonathan Taylor, purely because of the defense he's facing, not ignoring what he did last week. So Hunter Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Pearsall on the 49ers, Nick Chubb, surprisingly, and Emeka Egbuka with Mike Evans being out. Okay. I think at least 3 of those are going to hit, and because of their odds, we're looking at less money overall. Don't go over the 50% mark. So all 5 legs. Don't do more than by 2s or 3s. Okay. Don't do by 4s. If you're wary, Cook and Henry are always going to be a toss up because Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson like to run it in themselves and be Superman. If you're unsure about Hampton because he had a rough start for what was expected of him, I honestly think they're going to have a field day. I would put Keenan Allen in there. I would put Ladd McConkey in there. I think the Chargers are about to have one of their best games in the last year, honestly.
And you're saying for all of these are anytime touchdowns?
They're all anytime touchdowns. The first series was like kind of your more obvious choices. The second it's what I call the riskier round robin. So you put those 5 guys into a round robin, and they're all going to be plus money, but it's more than just the obvious, like this who has the best odds. And so
yeah, obviously
I've done fairly well with them overall.
Yeah.
So
I've been following. I win some money that way. You've inspired me to do anytime touchdowns more this season.
Yeah. Well, I'm honored. Last up, I was on the fence about this. Just a straight parlay for touchdown scores. I think Bijan's going to bounce back. The Falcons are going to bounce back. They have to. I don't know what happened last weekend, but you're facing one of the a non-great rushing defense, and I think you have to run the ball. He's going to get opportunities. That's all I'm saying. And I was going to parlay that with Josh Jacobs. If you're feeling frisky, maybe Jacobs and Tony Ferguson. Oh my God.
Tony Pollard.
No, Ferguson from the Cowboys. I can't believe I said Tony Ferguson.
No, you said Tony Ferguson, which is a UFC fighter.
Oh, I know.
So you combine Tony and Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys, you get UFC fighter.
Do not bet on Tony Ferguson.
Hey, we did. We bet on him in VIP against Salt Poppy.
Come back.
Plus 200.
Anyway, you got it. It's my 2 cents. I'm still working on this, trying to give you guys the best that I see. And I think this is going to be a really great weekend all around. Nothing else. Take Angels and Joe's picks. And if you're feeling nervous for any reason, make it a teaser. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Just make it a little bit safer and do a parlay or a same game parlay, okay? I bet like a wuss, and a lot of times that ends up saving me. I know a lot of people say not to do it, but anyway, good luck. That's the end of our segment and show. I'm glad to be back. I can't wait to talk to you guys again a week from now, and I'm excited to see how everything goes. So have a good one, everybody.
Yes. Cut through the chatter, fade the noise.
Exactly.
Go Cowboys.
Why? It doesn't matter.
They're going to
Have
win.
a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you guys next
Plus odds.